Hello and welcome along to our latest GP Finances update. There are lots of things going on at the moment for PCSE, both the 24-25 pension certificates and the 26-27 estimates are due, and there is now the new access for accountants for the GP pensions. There have been some changes to accessing your PPA reports from EPAC2, and if you are a sole trader GP or have rental earnings over £50,000, MTD will be required from April 26. I thought I would highlight some of these key areas and things to look out for in the next month or two. 24-25 pension certificates for both the Type 1 and Type 2 are due for submission by the 28th of February 2026. So hopefully you've already submitted these on behalf of your partners and advise your salaried GPs that these require submitting themselves. For any balances paid via BACS, the certificate submissions are required 7 days after the payment has been made. However, we have seen PCSE processing some of these payments quicker than the 7 days they do state in their guidance. If you or your partner does receive an email from PCSE requesting a payment template submission earlier than the 7 days, we advise that you upload the certificate as soon as possible using the case reference on the email that PCSE have sent you. If you are not paying via BACS and are waiting for these to be processed via the GMS statements, or maybe you have a refund due, please keep checking your GMS statements for the balances, and then when they've been taken or received, check that they agree to the certificates. If they don't agree, please get in touch with your accountant, who will be able to check the balances and advise you of any next steps. If you haven't seen these balances taken or received within, say, 3-4 months, please contact PCSE using the case reference you received when you submitted the original certificate and chase this up with them. With your 26-27 practice estimates of pensionable profits, these are also due for submission by the 28th of February 2026. Your accountant will do the workings for these and they'll send this information over you to submit to PCSE. The estimated profits are then used to work out your employee and employer contributions on account for the 26-27 year. If you don't update these by February 26, PCSE will continue to take the contribution based on the previous year. As well as the partner's estimated profits, you will also need to provide PCSE details of your salaried GPs. This will include their pensionable salary and the correct tier that they should be in. The tiers are determined by the GP's pensionable earnings, and this includes anything, even if it's outside the practice. Please remember that if a partner's session change, a new estimate form will need completing and submitting, or if your salary GP increase or drop sessions or has a pay increase, a salary change form will need completing with PCSE so they can take the correct contributions. Now, you'll no doubt see from plenty of emails from PCSE, and if you're a client from Rowleys, from myself, advising you that PCSE have changed their accountants' access for viewing GP pensions. This means that as accountants can view employee contribution statements on PCSE online for your GPs, and then we can also view the listing screens to check that pension certificates have been submitted and what has been processed. So, what do you need to do? You will need to give access to your accountant by logging into your PCSE account and adding your accountant under the Create Pension Accountant. Now, we've seen some issues around username for GPs, and this will be their email address that the GP uses to access PCSE online. And if a GP has not set up an account in the past, they will need to set one up in order to grant access. Without this access, your accountant cannot see any employee contribution statement or listing screen information for your GPs, so access is highly recommended. Now, if anyone's logged on to EPAC2 recently, you will see that this is slightly changed. I'm just going to run through a few and how to look for your monthly reports to check your PPA claims. Once you log into EPAC2, you need to select prescribing and dispensing data, EPAC2 in brackets. You scroll down and select prescribing reports, and in the search box, search for prescribing monitoring personally administered items, or PO1 for short. The easiest way is to search this. This will then bring up your data, which we do recommend that you check against your monthly claims to make sure everything has gone through, especially the last few months where you've probably had some increased claims around the flu, and just to make sure that everything is at the correct rate. For any single-handed GPs who have practice, or locum GP who has self-employment income, or for any GP with property income over £50,000 from the 6th of April 26, you will need to make quarterly submissions to HMRC. There will be a requirement to keep digital records using an HMRC compatible software and submit these records quarterly to HMRC. This information will need to include income and expenditure. And just to note that at the moment, partnerships are exempt from this process. So for anyone who from April 26, or landlords with over £50,000, and from next year, from April 27, this will decrease to anyone earning over £30,000. Income needs to be combined from all businesses and property earnings. And if your income for 24-25 was over 50,000, this will mean that you need to submit this for the next year. Submissions are required each quarter, whether that be the calendar quarter or a tax quarter, and the deadlines are for the 7th day after the following month. So you need to sign up for Making Tax Digital via the HMRC website and have Making Tax MTD compatible software such as Xero, and link this software to your government gateway accounts. In summary, please keep an eye on your GMS statements for any 24-25 balances due, and then also check that your April 26 contributions taken fall in line with the new estimated profits for 26-27. MTD will soon be upon us, so please make sure you are talking to your accountant to make this process as smooth as possible. And also make sure you have given your accountant the new GP access on PCSE Online so they can review listing screens and get employee contribution statements as needed. I hope you found this video useful, and if you or your practice require any further information or would like to see us cover a particular topic, please get in touch.